me now. Just look at me now. Eyes up on me, take a look at me now. Just look at me now. Just look at me now. Eyes up on me, take a look at me now.
Takes on the strike. Side booking.
Chelsea are champions.
Look at me now.
Hello, well, we've had an intriguing few weeks of cup action, but it was back to Barclays Women's Super League duty this weekend. And with just 7 rounds of matches to go, just 3 points separated the top 3 sides.
It's back to the business of the WSL for the defending champions. Lovely ball over the top. It's James! Never in doubt. That's a really good ball. And Chelsea back in front.
This is Lauren Hemp down the right for once. And she squeezed it in.
It's Shaw. She's in! It's 1-0 to Manchester City! The first touch is gorgeous. It's there.
Miedemar has gone for it. Oh, magnificent.
Coming up, there was a mammoth clash at Stamford Bridge. At first met third, with Arsenal looking to draw level on points with Chelsea. Second place Manchester City were ready to take advantage of any slip-up. They travelled to Brighton. And ahead of their FA Cup semi-final meeting, Tottenham welcome Leicester to Brisbane Road. Plus all the goals from across the WSL with reaction and analysis from former Tottenham captain Jenna Scalacci and Northern Ireland manager Tanya Oxtoby. Evening both. We'll be back with you shortly, but where else to start than at Stamford Bridge with the most played fixture in WSL history. This is the 27th meeting between Chelsea and Arsenal. Well, there was a 30-minute delay to kick off after Arsenal arrived with the wrong socks. Yes, you heard that right. They ended up having to wear Chelsea's dark blue socks with the sponsor's logo taped over. Ben Andrews was watching on for us.
Familiarity breeding contempt? Maybe. There's a League Cup final coming soon for these two. It was FA Cup duty last time out, so the changes are many. No Bjorn or Ramirez for Chelsea. Perisset and Buchanan start at the back, and with Kat Macario still on the bench, having come off it to score 2 in 2, Lauren James is the focal point forward. She has scored 7 times at Stamford Bridge already this season. Arsenal surely cannot afford a defeat here. 6 behind with 6 to play will be a stretch, even with their many talents, which, like Chelsea's, have been well rotated tonight. Interesting that it's Blackstenius instead of Russo, rather than with her. Only a 4th league start for the Swede, who's scoring plenty elsewhere. Otherwise, entirely as expected. A back 4 that know each other's game backwards, and Valti is the shield, while the rest go and play. Here comes Catley. Perisset, maybe with work to do. Caitlin Ford. Valti, Ford again. There's Ruben Moy. Big switch. Accurate switch. Mead cuts it back for Kim Little. Well, Hannah Hampton decided to make sure. It was probably going wide. Lauren James is in here. First touch was decent. Catley for company. James on her own. It might not matter. She's battered that against Zinsberger and she's scored again. Every time she plays at the bridge. And the champions strike first in the big one. Well, Palova's not got going. Dispossessed. Not a blue shirt for company. Not one. Didn't matter. She's hit it hard. Too hard, apparently, for Zinsberger, who is inevitably going to feel she might have done more. Chelsea's top scorer on the big stage again. Perisic into James. Killer first touch. She's away from Valti. So strong, and yet the ball's still stuck at the end of the boot. This is Gura Wrighton. Canarud is going to lay it back here for Cuthbert to hit one, deflected and in! They're all looking for a flag, Arsenal. There isn't one. Nusken looked onside. It's a delicate blow this time, but every bit as hefty for the Gunners. Chelsea are 2 goals up. Little bit of luck, little bit of improvisation. You watch where Sjoeke Nusken comes from. She is onside. She had a little look. Leah Williamson probably couldn't have expected that. No one could. A glancing but hammer blow for Arsenal, you feel, as it stands. Because it's a 6-pointer. It's not just 3 points, it's 3 points that his side then can't get. That does make it more than just another game. Here comes Canarud, and Lauren James is in a ton of space. The pass was on, the deflection makes it 3. Everything going Chelsea's way here. Sjoeke Nusken knew exactly what she was doing for the second Chelsea goal. She didn't have a clue about that one. It doesn't matter, it's 3-0. And even with an hour to play, does that put Arsenal out of the title race? It's a risky crossfield pass that started it all off. Canarud here has hit it, trying to catch out Zinsberger. Sjoeke Nusken couldn't even celebrate. Freakish, but definitive, you suspect. Berger. The long-standing #1. That's a great ball for Canarud to finish it off. Big stop from Zinsberger, keeping it respectable if nothing else. Canarud is quick, but Zinsberger was quick off her line as well. Niamh Charles. James onside here. To really wrap it up. No. Well, not yet anyway. The danger hasn't gone. This is Wrighton. That's just too easy. Right through the middle. Didn't take anything clever with the pass. Second time this half, Manuela Zinsberger's had to come out and save the day. It's Emily Fox playing Lauren James onside here. That is way too easy, though, to get in. Well watched, well timed. Kadisha Buchanan has been good tonight. Her and Carter have made Arsenal's good attack look anything but, to be honest. McCabe, little deeper this time. Little! Great hit. 5 minutes to score 2 more. It's not much of a celebration from the Gunners skipper. Deflected home by the newly arrived Kat Macario on a night of deflections. Chelsea 3, Arsenal 1. And her final WSL match at Stamford Bridge, as things stand, is going to be a big win. In more ways than one. When you've got bags of quality and you get the rub of the green, it's an invincible combination. But Chelsea, much the better side here. It is over to you, Manchester City, who may now be the only credible challengers to the champions for their well-worn WSL crown. Lauren James on the score sheet again at Stamford Bridge, which is celebrating a home victory. Chelsea 3, Arsenal 1.
I said that I expect Chelsea standard, and I saw that tonight in the performance from the players. You know, I thought it was a fabulous effort from every player to deliver, you know, what we needed. I mean, we've been depleted. We've had to play Lauren James up as a centre forward today, and she did a tremendous job. But this is about the whole team. It was an amazing effort from everyone.
I think there were parts of both our positioning and our decision making in not turning over the ball at those moments. We needed that to clearly get that better. We also had some things with our defensive organisation where we were too easy to play within our organisation, which also needed correction.
A win against any team always feels amazing, especially at Stamford Bridge, and I think even more so in a London derby, especially from what happened in December. I think it was even more of a nice feeling today to, go out there and show what we're about.
Final question, the socks that Arsenal borrowed, are you going to ask them to wash them before giving back, or can they keep them?
No, they're lucky for us. You can have them.
I suspect Arsenal probably won't want to keep hold of those ones. Well, look, Arsenal couldn't live with Chelsea, could they? And of course, the match had to be delayed for 30 minutes because of Sockgate and the Blues' social media. Well, they had a bit of fun with this one. Ready to work our socks off? And London is blue, and so are your socks. Well, you two, what did you make of Sockgate?
It's decent banter, that those tweets there, but yeah, look, it's less than ideal, I think, if you're a player in the dressing room, ready to go out. But yeah, I guess a little bit of fun and games, afterwards from the social media team there, which I find quite funny.
Jenna, if you're a player, you're gearing up for one of the biggest games of the season in front of the TV cameras at one of the biggest stadiums, and then not only is the game delayed for 30 minutes, but then you have to step out in your opposition's socks. How much does that actually affect you as a player?
Yeah, I mean, they're professional athletes at the end of the day, so it shouldn't really cause too much disruption. But I think mentally, I think it did play a part for the Arsenal players. I think, as players, just before you're about to go out to kick off, you have your own routines, your own prep, and for that to be thrown out 30 minutes before kick-off, you kind of have to restart and go out. So for me, I felt like Chelsea had the advantage going out after the delay.
Yeah, if it did affect Arsenal, it certainly didn't affect Chelsea, did it? They were straight out of the blocks for this one.
Yeah, I thought right from the beginning, Chelsea put Arsenal on the back foot, and they really struggled to put any pressure on Lauren James, and she seemed to dictate play with and without the ball, actually. And you can just see in terms of the spaces she's picking up and driving at the Arsenal back four that she was causing all sorts of problems.
Yeah, and it was in the midfield areas that I felt Arsenal were losing out a lot. There was a lot of turnovers, sloppy, just uncharacteristic mistakes from the Arsenal midfield. And here for the opening goal, you see Catley there is you want to kind of show Lauren James on the outside, but what Lauren James does so well is she stops the defender dead, and then she accelerates and speeds up again. And I think that's where you've got to do better. You've got to keep her out, show her outside, and the shot, it's got power in it, but you're expecting Zinsberger to do a lot better there for her team.
Should we expect more from the goalkeeper there?
I think so. I think she's positionally, I'm not an expert, but she seems like she's in a good position there. She gets hands to it, but actually doesn't push it away far enough. And, I don't think the defenders have any chance really to get the clearance after that point. But, Chelsea were really dangerous on the counter all night long. So, that was a classic example.
Yeah, Chelsea have got a few injury issues at the moment, particularly in that forward setups. Emma Hayes went with James and Nusken in a front two. But Lauren James, are we running out of words to describe just how good she is?
Yeah, look, she's amazing on the ball, and it's almost like she brings her own ball to the game at times. Like you see here playing into those areas, looking to try and get players in behind. She can do it all. She can come and get the ball to feet. She can look to spin in behind, and here her vision to try and open the play up is exceptional as well, and releases Canada, into 1v1 areas.
Yeah, and I think when she's got the ball, it just all looks too easy. Here you see, and there's no real pressure on her, is there? It's like the ball stuck to her. But 4 players around her and still no pressure. She gets a chance to find the space out on the other side. And here it's the build-up to the goal. But even here, the shot's off, there's no pressure, there's Arsenal defenders just standing flat-footed. There you need to engage, try and stop the shot at least.
Yeah, I agree. Look, there's enough numbers in the box there as the ball comes in that Arsenal can deal with that. And, for Chelsea to get first and then second contact in the 18-yard box, they'll be really disappointed with that Arsenal, I would imagine.
Yeah, if there's one player who loves playing at Stamford Bridge, it certainly is Lauren James, isn't it? And James, of course, got player of the match, and rightly so, but there were also some good performances across the Chelsea team, and Nusken was one of them, and she got her second of the game, although she didn't know too much about this one, did she, Tanya?
No, this is Arsenal turned the ball over way too easily, in particular in the first half, and you can see that Canary picks the ball up, drives in 1v1, and I'm not sure that she knows much about that, but I'm a massive believer in you create your own luck, and the way Chelsea set up to force Arsenal to play into areas they didn't particularly want to, and how direct they were on the counter. I thought they earned a little bit of luck, but for me, you could tell even the way she celebrated, that was certainly not planned.
It's possibly two of the oddest goals that she may ever score. But look, Chelsea obviously had their chances. It could have been more, though, had it not been for Zinsberger, the Arsenal goalkeeper, in the second half, Jenna.
Yeah, I think Zinsberger in the second half, her teammates owe her a lot of credit there to keep the scoreline at 3-0, because it could have easily been 4-5-0. I think here you see Lauren James just open up the defence, and it's poor defending, and here I think Lauren James will be disappointed. That's bread and butter for her. But Zinsberger does well, comes out, makes herself big. Again here, just caught in possession, and Zinsberger here is just she's strong. She stands up and she gets a foot to that. But again, it's just all too easy down the channels for Chelsea.
And the numbers that Arsenal have in the box there, it's they're not dealing with the crosses that are coming in. Chelsea had one player in the box there, and again, you see a 3v2 or a 4v2 there, and actually Chelsea get first contact in the 18-yard box, and I think that might be what disappoints Arsenal. In terms of they pride themselves on making sure that they, shut the back door, if you like, so that they can go forward and attack. And actually, I thought they had good numbers, but didn't deal with the crosses into the box well.
For Arsenal, 6 games to go, 6 points behind, and they still have to travel to Manchester City. In reality, is that their title hopes done and dusted?
It's a lot to do. It's a lot to do. Look, never say never in football, but I don't think it's ever been done. And, from their point of view, they'll be really disappointed, I think, more so with the performance, which has led to a result that's disappointing for them.
Yeah, you can see the emotion now from Leah Williamson, who then tweeted that they were masters of their own downfall, and that basically sums up their day, doesn't it, in terms of a pretty difficult day for them all round. But in terms of the rest of the games, well, to the other title contenders, Manchester City, who were dumped out of both cup competitions in recent weeks and now faced a lengthy trip to Brighton in attendance at Broadfield. A 4-legged fan called Scooter, there he is. He's an assistance dog for a Brighton supporter who suffers from complex PTSD and general anxiety disorder, and even has his own season ticket. Watching alongside Scooter were Ginny Flaherty and Vicky Sparks.
Paulina Bremer misses out through injury in a blow for Brighton, and Beatrice Sari drops to the bench as Yorelin Karabali and Madison Haley come in. Lee Gu-min will be hoping to make an impact from the bench against her former club, just as she did in November when she scored the goal that gave Brighton that first ever win over Manchester City. The prolific Khadija Shaw is fit and starts in a big boost for the visitors after recovering from a shoulder problem. Philippa Angeldal misses out with a slight hamstring issue and is replaced by Laura Coombs. That is Manchester City's one change from that penalty shootout defeat to Tottenham in the FA Cup. They have won every game in the league since that defeat by Brighton in November. Brighton, as we say, having beaten Manchester City for the first time in their history already this season, certainly have something to build on from that performance. Here is Park. And Hemp could be in here. Hemp for Manchester City. Brilliantly squeezed through. Sophie Bagley beaten. And Lauren Hemp gives Manchester City the goal they sorely need after the 10 days that they've had. Brighton 0, Manchester City 1.
It's a good patient build-up play from City. You see Lauren Hemp, she's right off the back of Lasada. I mean, Bagley, I think, will be wanting to do a bit better with that one.
But Lauren Hemp taking the chance quickly, and the power on it enough to beat Sophie Bagley. And Manchester City have the breakthrough. Here come Manchester City once again. Fowler's there, Fowler scores 2-0. Lovely run, lovely finish. And Manchester City take a grip on this game.
Lauren Hemp there, it's a great delivery. Brighton obviously start with playing the ball, so Bagley goes long. And then Mary Fowler completely unmarked at the back post there. 1-2 from Coombs and Hemp, great delivery in. She's in that difficult area as well with Bagley. Does she come, does she stay? Defenders ain't got a clue where she is. It's a nice calm finish from Fowler.
Wahabi. Hemp, nice turn. Decent try. Very decent indeed. Cannons off the post. What an effort from Lauren Hemp. So close to 3-0 Manchester City.
It's a great effort, but the post saves Brighton.
Kasparai, Shaw in a foot race with Carabali, and Shaw's got there first. And Shaw's past Carabali, he pulls her back right on the edge of the area. It's going to be a free kick. What punishment is there going to be for Yorelin Carabali? And the yellow card is out. Yellow card for Yorelin Carabali. She has just about got away with it there, Gilly.
I think she is a very, very, very lucky player at the moment.
Free kick for Manchester City. Greenwood goes for goal, beaten away by Bagley. On the follow-up is Hemp, blocked and cleared. And Brighton survive.
And she does well because she pushes it enough, wide enough, that then it's difficult for them, Lauren Hemp, and it don't fall directly to Shaw.
Turner now closing down Alexandri, but Manchester City have played around it. Hasegawa, Fowler, saw the runner Park. Blocked away, City corner.
You see what Brighton are trying to do? They're trying to set the traps. They're trying to get City to play into the certain areas, but when they are going to the areas, they're not there. They can't get there quick enough.
City have taken the corner short. Hasegawa will send it in, and the header is in. Third goal for Manchester City, and that will be the 3 points. Bunny Shaw rising, and Manchester City are back on track this season.
And again, Brighton's far too slow to come and close that ball down. Does really well with the header. Does really well to climb up and head it in past Bagley.
17th goal of the season for Khadija Shaw. 16 have come in the WSL in just 15 games. Here come Manchester City. Fowler, it's behind Shaw, it's Coombs. It's 4, and she does have her goal. Swept home. They are very much staking a claim in this title race. They lead Brighton by 4 goals to 0, and they're moving level on points with leaders Chelsea.
She's able to just get the ball, passes it into the back of the net, but that's been coming for Laura Coombs, and she's deserved her goal.
Brighton looking to at least get on the score sheet. Turlin, Sari. Oh, brilliant! Brighton do get a goal. Lee Gumin's run causing all sorts of problems, and the home fans have something to celebrate. It will only be a consolation, but it will mean so much to this player.
Yeah, and I think if you're looking at Manchester City, it's come down that right-hand side for them, where they've made 2 substitutions.
Gareth Taylor's side responding to a disappointing few days with a victory that takes them level on points with leaders Chelsea in the WSL. It finishes Brighton 1, Manchester City 4.
It was the game we expected, and we executed the game plan really well. We built up well, we controlled most of the situations, and any kind of slight opportunities for them to counter-attack, I thought the defenders dealt with it really well between them and Chiara. So yeah, really, really pleased. I thought some of our play was excellent.
Although Manchester City had a lot of possession, we felt like we were limiting them to few chances, and I always felt like we were a threat on the counter-attack. But unfortunately, you know, mistakes get punished by a team of their quality.
Yes, a brilliant performance from Manchester City off the back of those cup exits as well. And no surprise that Gilly went for Lauren Hemp as player of the match. She was excellent today, wasn't she?
She was. Look, she caused all sorts of problems, and the beauty with Lauren Hemp is she's so direct at times, but then she can also, you know, look to create combination play. And this opportunity comes off the Man City press. They win it back and they look to go out the other side into the open spaces. And, you know, look, Hemp gets the shot on target. I think Bagley will be disappointed that she hasn't kept that out, to be honest. But, you know, in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and here you see just dropping really deep to receive the ball, and this is what you mean by the directness, just driving, and no Brighton player can touch her there. It's her pace that's frightening, and I think when she's got the grass in front of her and she's got the defenders turned facing their own goal, that's when she can really hurt teams. And then here again, a delivery into the box. I think as well, you've got to give credit to the players that she's playing with around her and those connections that she's built. I think she's on 8 assists at the minute, so she knows if she puts the deliveries in, which she is excellent at, there's going to be a player at the back post. Today it was Fowler, she's got Bunny Shaw in there as well. So yeah, deliveries have been excellent, and she's getting on the score sheet as well.
Yeah, look, the thing with Lauren Hemp is you get tight, she rolls you, you give her space, she's driving at you, she draws 2 or 3 defenders, you know, to her because she's such a good player with loads of quality. So yeah, she's a handful for any opposition team, and that's, I think, why, you know, she actually, you know, instead of just always scoring, her assists are actually really, really important to Man City as well.
And yeah, Lauren Hemp is a player in form at the moment. Someone else who's in form is Bunny Shaw. She scored her 16th WSL goal of the season, trademark header, we've come to recognise. But how disappointed will Brighton be with the defending there?
Yeah, I think it's obviously she's at the back post. She's a threat from set pieces. Everybody in the WSL knows that. There's not really a challenge on her. Nobody gets up with her. It's a free head at the back post, and she's never going to miss from that range.
And there's no pressure on the ball. The delivery that comes in, there's no pressure on the ball. It's a 3v3 in that area off a corner, and I think Brighton will be disappointed that they haven't managed to affect the cross coming in or compete for the header as well in the box.
Laura Coombs with her 3rd WSL goal of the season. Brighton perhaps throwing bodies forward to get back into the game, but she times her run to perfection, doesn't she, Jenna?
She does, and you see her here, she's circled, she's free, she's just roaming, she's holding the space, you can see the space on the edge of the box, she's unmarked, and you know, it's an easy routine finish for her. It's a great cutback, but you see she's arriving, she's clever with her run, she knows she's unmarked, and it's a simple set and a low drive into the goal.
And a typical Man City goal, you know, looking to combine and slide down the sides. You know, Brighton would have done their research and known that that's, you know, a typical Man City move, if you like. So again, the freedom on the edge of the box and the time that she had to finish that, it's a good finish, but Brighton will want to reflect on that and try and sort of work on that for the next game.
Yeah, Lee Goo-min did pull one back for Brighton, which Manchester City will be disappointed with, because of course today was all about the points in terms of the title race, but goal difference could still play a part as well. Which way is this title race going, and when's it going to happen?
Yeah, look, my heart says Chelsea for obvious reasons, but you know, Man City for me was my pick at the start of the season, purely because of I think the load that Chelsea's going to have in terms of competing in all competitions, and I think it's going to go all the way to the wire, in my opinion. I think there's plenty more twists and turns in this title race.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen with Man City how quickly football can change in the last 10 days. You know, they're out of both cups, and now they only have the WSL title to compete for. But for me, I think I'm going to stick with Chelsea. I think they've been in this situation time and time again. They know how to navigate this business end of the season, so I'm going to go with Chelsea.
No sitting on the fence this week. I like it. I like it a lot. Well, look, Leicester travelled to Tottenham in what was a precursor to their FA Cup semi-final meeting next month. For now, though, WSL points remained the priority for both sides. Commentary comes from Dan Roebuck.
Spencer looks to go long. That's a clever ball as well to this near side. Can Spurs counter? This is Spence. And now it's Naz galloping forward on the left-hand side. The curling ball in for Vinberg! What a start for Tottenham. Inside the opening 2 minutes, a swift counter, and Vinberg with a wonderful finish. Credit Naz with the assist, but how about that with the outside of the left boot? Crossfield ball to this near side is good. Here is Naz, and now Spence to let fly from distance. Oh, Cobb got a fingertips to that, I think, and it's cleared away just by Bott. Spurs with a throw. Flicked on towards Naz. And Thibaut helps win it back. This is Mamoki. It's a clever touch. This is Whelan, fine save, and it's Petterman, and it's Rantala! Oh, Spencer does brilliantly. Thibaut with the free kick here for Leicester. Rantala looking to stealing round the back, away from Neville. Rantala with a shot! Oh, denied by the woodwork. Plenty of power, no precision. Villa. Good strength shown here. Referee allows play to continue. This is England. And the Leicester defence are backpedaling. Still Beth England. A shimmy and a shuffle. Can she pull the trigger? It's still England! Fine save by Kopp. She gets down brilliantly to her right-hand side. Spurs denied a second. Leicester will clear. Petzelberger with the interception. Here is England again. Naz over on the right-hand side. Can she cross towards Ayane? Oh! The movement was good. The flag stayed down. The finish not quite to match.
Of course, we were all talking about the fact you're playing each other in the FA Cup semi-final as well. Was there an element of not wanting to show too much before of that?
I mean, I want to show everybody how we play because I want to be so good at it so they cannot compete with us. So I don't have any problem with that. I just feel like everybody's seeing now that Leicester is a very good team, so nobody can expect us to just, it's an easy draw, because it's going to be a very tough game. But also, you know that you can beat them because we already beat them now. So it's going to be a very big game, but Bristol first.
Every game's a learning. And I think for us, there are lots of positives to take from this game. After that first 20 minutes, and look, there's a lot to learn, and we'll go away and look. We've got Brighton before that and Villa before we look to the semi-final. But there's a lot to take from this game, yeah.
Well, Tanya, Spurs had that game all wrapped up by the second minute, didn't they? But it was a lovely move from them for the only goal of the game.
Yeah, again, I think it's the second goal front to back for them. So, a quick release out onto this left-hand side. Really positive play from them, looking to break lines nice and early. Running behind here by Naz. Great ball, first-time ball, and what a finish this is. Front to back, I don't know the times on that, but essentially, Leicester nowhere near it. And not so much game over, I wouldn't say, but put them in a really, really good position in terms of for the rest of the game to make sure that they could stamp some authority and get momentum.
Gianna, one of these two sides is going to reach the FA Cup final for the first ever time. How much can we take from today, and how much of that's going to be repeated in the semi-final, do you think?
Yeah, I think obviously the players will have that confidence now, knowing that they've beaten Leicester. I think historically games between these two teams have been very, very tight. We've seen that again today. They've still got Bristol to come up against next week. It's another opportunity to continue that winning momentum, get more confidence in, and it's still under nearly a month away now, so lots of work to be done, but they can't get too carried away, and I'm pretty sure the staff will keep their foot grounded and focused on it. But yeah, it's obviously just been announced at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, so hopefully the fans get down and play their part.
Yes, and just a reminder that both those FA Cup semi-finals will be on the BBC. Now, let's see how the other WSL sides got on, starting with Aston Villa's visit to Everton. Flo Pollock brings us the best of the action.
Both Everton and Aston Villa came into this game out of form, and it showed in an uneventful first half. Villa did improve after the restart, though, and were rewarded in the 55th minute when Kenza Dali connected with Adriana Leon's back heel. Moments later, Ebony Salmon doubled the visitors' lead when she found space at the near post to turn in a whipped cross from Jordan Nobbs. With 5 minutes remaining, Elise Stenovic gave Everton hope when she was first to Aurora Ghali's free kick. But in injury time, she was sent off for a second bookable offence after a clumsy challenge on Simone McGill. Despite the late drama, Carla Ward's side held on to take the win.
I thought we completely controlled the game, but one moment where we've conceded, it's a bit of a tough one to take. But 3 points, it's a massive 3 points, so yeah, we're happy.
No team had lost more away games in the Barclays WSL since the start of last season than West Ham, but there was little to separate them from Liverpool in a cagey first half, The deadlock was eventually broken in the 41st minute when Leanne Kiernan tapped into an empty net after Mackenzie Arnold's initial save. The goal was a wake-up call for both sides as moments later Vivienne Asseyi found Kirsty Smith, but her shot was sent wide. Rico Ueki then collected the loose back pass, but her effort was saved by Rachel Laws before Asseyi also fired wide. Shortly after the restart, the hosts doubled their lead. Seri Holland with the pinpoint cross, substitute Missy Bo-Kearns with the finish. It got even worse for Rianne Skinner's side when Sophie Roman-Haag superbly connected with Niamh Fahy's flicked assist to make it 3-0. There was a glimmer of hope for West Ham when Ueki capitalised on a misplaced pass to narrow the deficit, but that was the end of the scoring on an impressive afternoon for Matt Beard's side.
We had to adapt one or two things in game because they played slightly differently to what we anticipated. But no, listen, it was important. We knew we could score from crosses. And yeah, so that was an area that we was targeting. So yeah, no, really pleased with the overall performance.
Bristol City had won just one of their last 19 away games in the Barclays WSL and found themselves behind to Manchester United inside 10 minutes on Sunday. Lisa Northland with the fine run and finished for her first WSL goal. After the early setback, Lauren Smith's side settled into the game and against the run of play went close to drawing level when Shania Hale's strike hit the post. Things got worse for the visitors when Jamie Lee Napier was shown a second yellow card for a reckless challenge on Jace. United finally made the best of their numerical advantage in stoppage time. Northland with her second to settle the nerves and secure a vital 3 points for Mark Skinner's side.
That's exactly what we expected. It wasn't ever going to be a high-scoring game, just needed to win the game. That's 2 back-to-back results, 2 clean sheets. I'm happy with that.
Yes, Lisa Northland with her first and second WSL goals for Manchester United, but Bristol City were in this game as they have been many times this season, but not able to get anything out of it. And Tanya, looking at their remaining fixtures, they're going to need a miracle, surely. This is your former side.
Yeah, look, it's going to be tough. I want them to stay up, but you look there, they've got Chelsea away, Arsenal away, Man City at home. It's going to be really, really difficult for them. So, all they can do is stick together as a group and continue to try and push forward, and it's going to be a really big task for them, I think, to stay in the WSL this season.
Yeah, Jenna, one team who's not struggling at the moment is Liverpool. That's their third WSL win in a row. They're unbeaten in 4 and they're really challenging Manchester United for that 4th place, aren't they? How impressed have you been with Liverpool this season?
Yeah, I've been really impressed with them. I think this season they've been very organised and really difficult to beat, home and away, really hard to break down. And yeah, as you say, same points as Manchester United. I think if they can keep this winning consistency going, picking up points as they go, they could well break into that top 4 spot.
Yeah, Kenza Darley's first goal of the season for Aston Villa helped them on their way. They're certainly going in the right direction, whereas Everton, well, just one home win all season and only 1 shot on target on Saturday. Tanya, they'll be hoping to do better in the remaining 6 fixtures, won't they?
They will. I do feel for them a little bit in terms of their situation with missing players and losing players at the start of the season, not being able to replace them, etc. So I do feel for them a little bit, but they do hold high standards for themselves. So I think from their point of view, they'll look to improve on the next game and try and get a positive result.
Well, let's take a look at the Barclays Women's Super League table with Chelsea and Manchester City level on 40 points each. The Blues are top by virtue of goal difference. Arsenal now 6 points adrift with 4 defeats and no side has ever won the WSL with more than 2 losses. No movement below them with Manchester United, Liverpool and Spurs all winning. Bristol City, well, they remain 6 points adrift of West Ham. In the Women's Barclays Championship, 2 goals and 2 assists from Katie Wilkinson saw Southampton storm to a 5-0 win at home to Reading. She opened the scoring after 17 minutes with a header and then provided a lovely backheel assist for Southampton's second, scored by Ella Morris. Wilkinson grabbed her side's third before the break, another header. with 2 more second-half goals added by Sophia Farrar to round off a great afternoon for the Saints. Elsewhere, Charlton won away at Durham. Sheffield United beat promotion hopefuls Crystal Palace. There was a goalless draw between Birmingham and Blackburn. Lewis won the battle at the bottom at home to Watford, and London City Lionesses overcame league leaders Sunderland 1-0. Well, it remains as tight as ever at the top, with those defeats for Sunderland and Crystal Palace just a point separating the top 4 sides. Sheffield United move up to 6th, London City swap places with Reading, Lewis and Watford remain in the relegation places. Well, the big matches in the WSL keep on coming, don't they? And we've got live coverage of the Manchester derby from the Etihad next Saturday on BBC One. That's from 12:15. And make sure you subscribe to the Football Daily podcast, which includes the Women's Football Weekly podcast with Ben Haynes and Ellen White, with episodes every week on BBC Sounds. We just talked about the Manchester derby next weekend then. A lot to play for Manchester City, potential title hopes as well. Which way do you see it going, Tanya?
I think City will have too much at home for me. They're in great form, scoring loads of goals and free-flowing. I think Lauren Hemp again will have a really big impact on the outcome of that game.
Jenna, United going to Etihad, they're not going to want to let this one go easily, are they?
No, they're not, but it's a huge task at hand, especially now Man City, they've got to get the 3 points to keep the chase alive for the title.
Well, look, that's all we've got time for. Jenna, Tanya, thank you so much for your company. Well, it appears our 3-way title race may be down to just 2 teams, Manchester City and Chelsea, following the brilliant Blues' emphatic 3-1 victory over the Gunners. Bye for now.
7 games to go. These next 90 minutes could well be definitive. She's scored again. It's Lauren James for Chelsea. Deflected and in. Chelsea are 2 goals up. The deflection makes it 3. Does that put Arsenal out of the title race? It's an invincible combination with Chelsea